Middle-aged men talking about middle-aged problems.
A couple dudes that are bored and is like, hey, let's do a webcast.
That's the crisis. I am bored out of my mind.
Something
It's
new.
definitely not enough on my plate right now.
Well, I feel as a professional, it's kind of a natural progression to do something and having the right people come in and just talk.
Well, why am I here then?
Yeah, I did say men, right?
Yeah, true that. Francisco, you got it ready? Welcome. This is our second shot at seeing if we can get this thing right. This is Middle Staged. I am Ryan. This is Jim across from me. He's my best friend.
My best friend.
You're my best friend. And we have between us Mr. Zach Brockman.
Betwixt, I think is the proper pronunciation.
Betwixt.
I'm right betwixt you.
Right betwixt.
Oh, goodness. Mr. Zach Brockman is the president of the Beloit Sky Carp, and I think he's a pretty cool dude, so I figured he'd come and hang out with us.
Yeah,
Really
I'm here.
excited to have you here, man.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here. Appreciate the opportunity, guys.
Well, we also like coffee. I got my coffee. Jim has his bourbon, disguising as a coffee mug. And you got nothing. I don't know what's wrong with you.
I'm good. I'm totally good. They asked me if I wanted coffee or water or anything like that. I'm good. I don't need it.
Ready.
Water.
Yeah.
Holy.
Promise. It's water.
Only the good stuff.
Exactly. So the Sky Carp, actually, you guys are probably really deep into your planning season right now, right?
Yeah, you better believe it. I think we're 57 days away. Not that I'm counting or anything, but yeah, we had opening day April 5th. So, you know, if it hasn't gotten planned yet, it ain't getting planned.
Yes. Right? How's the roster looking?
Don't know about the roster yet. I think we'll be pretty good. And the reason why I say that is because the level below us, low A, which is in Jupiter, Florida, they won the Florida State League last year.
Not bad.
Yeah. So you usually, on year over year turnover, you usually get about 60% of the roster from the lower level.
Oh, okay.
So at one point or another, we'll probably have all of them, but it just depends on the revolving door of player moves and all that stuff.
That's such an exciting time, man. Like that is so cool. I get geeked up about like those young dudes coming up and just crushing it with you guys.
Yeah, pitchers and catchers are next week.
Man, it's just baseball. Just I don't know. It's my heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's something about it. I don't even need to know all the players to love what's happening on the field.
They got a bunch of legit dudes there. Like last year, we went. Like I was super impressed with the quality, and most people just don't realize what each level, brings to the table. But
people just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Which is actually really cool. So I live right across the street from the stadium.
Right.
And I only had the pleasure of being there for a couple of days before the end of the season last year when I moved into the new spot. But I do remember being in my loft and hearing the roar of the crowd from the stadium. And it just, I don't know, man, gets me hot.
Yeah, those fireworks shows are going to be like right in your face, man.
Yeah, because you guys do them
right
in center field, right?
Right.
So that's, he's right across the river.
Right there.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Especially with the fireworks company we have now. They're outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's we got a new one this
the bigger,
past
the
year.
better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they're really, really intense shows. So
I tell you what, I did get to see one of those. I filmed the whole thing. I sat there kind of just a little happy tear down my eye watching the fireworks.
Did you make sure you had copyright infringement?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, cease and assist. We're sending it right over.
Speaking of that, I wrote a little opinion piece recently on social media about the Super Bowl. Yes, I said Super Bowl, and I'm going to say it again, Super Bowl, because I can, because that's what it is. I'm naming the thing for what the thing is. So Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl.
Yeah, well,
what do you guys got in that game?
What's that?
Who do you think is going to take it?
Taylor Swift is going to win.
Yeah, well, I think as far as athletes are concerned, I think the 49ers clearly have better their specialty players.
Right.
They're phenomenal. Christian McCaffrey, Debo.
Right.
Come on.
As a Cowboys fan, I always root for the NFC team in the Super Bowl. I kind of have to, despite the fact that I'm brokenhearted over what happened over the Cowboys over the last
30 years
few years,
since 1995.
something like that.
Whenever the Steelers, Neil O'Donnell threw
Right.
the game and gave it to you, because I'm sure he was paid off.
Something
It's
like
the
that.
only reason why you guys won that game.
Yeah, well, 5 Super Bowls,
Stupid.
no big deal.
Not even in the top 5 anymore.
But no, I'll be
Yeah.
cheering for the 49ers, but
Yeah.
for no specific reason other than it's the NFC team.
We talked about this the other day. Why is everybody so crazy about Taylor Swift? Like, who cares?
I honestly don't think people are that crazy about it anymore. I think it's now just become a talking point that
Yeah.
people are crazy about it. But I don't know a single person that's mad about seeing Taylor Swift on TV.
No, and she's not asking for anybody to pan to her or any
No.
on the cameras. It's
Yeah, I don't get it either. It's just weird. It's a weird situation.
You know-
give people a reason to jump on it. and of
Why
course they're
don't
gonna
we
be all
call
over
her
it on social
people
media.
and have her come out to a Sky Carp game?
I would love for her to come out to a Sky Carp camp. We are doing an ERA night though.
ooh,
Night on I believe it's June.
Okay,
Let's see, not June 3rd. It's the second Saturday in June.
an Era's night,
Yep.
something.
That'd be
Giving away
cool.
2 tickets to her Indianapolis show.
Okay, well, how do we make this happen? How do I
you
get?
want to win the tickets?
Yeah.
Are you trying to rig this on the back end or something?
well, let's not get that. You don't have to tell them everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be cool. So
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
a really
that-
neat
we
night.
expect that night to be huge. We already have a cheerleading group signed on for like 500 tickets, so
oh my,
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
going to be. Yeah, we should sell out that game.
Like, well, there's a bunch of those groups right around, like, was it McChesney or Rockton Roscoe? I
Yeah.
think there's like 3 of them.
Yeah, we're getting them from down here.
Okay.
So they're yeah. No, it should be that should be a great night. We already have a ton of cool ways to incorporate all that stuff into our game.
fantastic.
So.
Without breaking any copyright.
Right, exactly. It's not Taylor Swift night. We would never do that because that would be an infringement.
Right.
Maybe. Actually, speaking of that, in our first episode, we played some Taylor Swift music.
Yeah.
And the moment I loaded that episode onto YouTube, it got immediately hit for copyright infringement. And they're like, okay, you can load it, you can show it here, but it's not going to be public. You can, of course, appeal this. And I'm like, I know my rights, okay? And honestly, I was able to appeal it, and it got approved within an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Because let's be honest, man, people that are in the media, they want their stuff shared. As long as you're not claiming it as yours.
Yeah, and
Right.
I mean, in something like that, it wasn't. We weren't using it. For,
No, it was just
or
it was
anything
a
like
short
that.
clip. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny how that works, man. There's a lot of different systems out there that just it automatically hit and say, okay, we recognize this, you can't use it, and you have to go through a lot of hoops.
We
to
do
get
that
approval
with
for that
D1.
stuff,
I mean, it's nonstop with the content that we post.
Oh,
And-
because of the pro athletes?
Yeah, the pro athletes, but the music. So like we pay for our system, but we also pay for our licensing fees and all that stuff. So we got to be really careful on when we post
Right.
what's playing in the background, because typically we end up just whatever's available
Mm-hmm.
and do it that way. So, but we have our own radio station in the gym, so
Your own D1 station?
through Fit Radio, it's pretty awesome.
All right.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's all preloaded. I think they update it like once a month, once every other month, or something like that.
Yeah, all right.
So-
Get you nice and pumped.
Yeah, it's
All
all
right.
jacked. It has different beats per minute type of deal. So depending on the workouts that we're doing,
Yeah.
That's really cool.
When Sky Carp can get their own radio station.
Oof. That I don't know.
So, which reminds me, it wasn't last season. I think it was the end of the season before. I got a package, and it included a link to a Sky Carp Spotify list.
yeah, we did that for all of our partners 2
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was
thought
cool.
that was cool.
It was like a Bluetooth speaker, and
Mhm.
then we created our own little list and sent it out in a nice package. It was cool.
that's really nice.
I think it was called The Sounds of Summer.
Now, do they
Yes.
broadcast those games on like AM channel or anything like that?
See, we used to be able to do that. We used to do it through WIFR. We used to do all of our games. But unfortunately, we no longer can do that. MLB is signed a deal with Bally Sports. So they're trying to funnel all minor league baseball content through Bally Sports. Now, there is not a Bally station in this area. the closest one is up in Milwaukee, so they did allow us to broadcast 15 games last year. And they're probably going to allow at least 15 again. I have requested that we go back to the 66 because it's a great exposure piece, But we'll see how that goes. But MLB is trying to funnel everything through Bally's because that's one of their major.
Now, was that
partners.
part of the and I'm sure I'm going to butcher this, but was that part of the whenever they reduced the amount of minor league teams and they were trying to reorganize all that?
Yeah. So Rob Manfred has the one baseball approach. He has this whole plan of getting everything under the same umbrella for this. So that was part of it. So 2.5-3 years ago now, everything changed. 40 clubs across the country lost their affiliation.
Yeah.
And Beloit was on a short list to be eliminated as well.
And we are thankful they did not.
Yeah. And I mean, there's really Diane Hendricks and Quint Studer to thank for that.
Right.
They heard about that and just flew right up to New York. Knocked on the door, had a meeting with Morgan Sword, who's the number 2 guy in Major League Baseball, and said, if we build a brand new stadium, can we keep an affiliation? They said yes. Got it done.
And here we are.
That is so amazing, man. Like when you have that kind of backing, right, and just to be able to go and be like, we're just gonna go there and see what happens.
Just
Hop
people
on the
that are
PJ.
willing to do what it takes.
Yeah.
Know.
And Diane's been so good for this area, man. Like she does so much.
Yeah. And now with Quint.
Yeah, and it's you can see it. It's happening more and more every year. I mean, there's a new spot that's going to open up on Spine Road in downtown Beloit the end of the summer, which is another Diane Hendricks project. I'm sure there's going to be something new every year.
Yep.
Almost. I mean, that's what's so awesome about living and working in this area is people who care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Having the public and private sector on the same page.
And she has a big kind of contingent down in Indianapolis too, correct?
She does. Yeah. So Geronimo's is rapidly growing. So they actually just purchased, I think it's like a whole city block in Indianapolis that they're going to be completely renovating, the entire space over the next 5 years or so.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. They have properties in Idaho, in Boise.
Yeah.
And then they recently bought a hotel within the last year, a hotel in Southern California. So they're all over the place. And rapidly expanding.
We like to see it, which actually, we're talking about radio for the games. I'm telling you, you don't want to listen to this thing on radio or TV. Do it if you can't come to town, but people need to come to the game.
Yeah.
Like they need to come into downtown Beloit, they come watch a game, get a drink or some snacks after, before even like.
It's an amazing experience there.
The whole downtown area is it's popping off, and honestly, you'll have a chance to maybe run into me.
Yeah, well, like in the stadium, like the beer garden stuff, and then
the rooftop, Hatley's, Maryland Houston's, Zen.
There's only 4 or 5 spots you could be at any given time. So you just go one by one.
Just pick one.
You'll find me.
There's the one Mexican restaurant right across the street from the candy store too. I can't remember the name of that place. They got good food.
Way to drop the ball on that one, Jim.
Hey, well.
About to give a shout out to a business.
Stupid. It was a plug, but it's like Fresca something.
Yeah.
Oh, Fresca Fajita House.
Yeah, that place.
Yeah.
I really like their food. It's made to order, so it's not like thrown in a microwave.
It is so good. Yeah, so good.
Some good food trucks too. In downtown area that they kind of circle around in that space.
Did you guys ever do like a food truck night, like out in the back?
We used to have food trucks at the actual park.
Oh,
we when I first got here,
like up at Pullman Field or whatever.
Or at the new stadium.
Yeah.
There used to be Food Truck Alley, which is in right field corner, where it was actually built, and you could actually pull the food trucks right through. There's a gate on that back side.
I know exactly where you're talking about.
That you could actually pull them right up. So that's something that we used to do. No longer do it. It didn't really catch on with our fan base, but
I like a good food truck.
Yeah, I do too.
Honestly, let's be honest. I just like food and drink.
Yeah, as long as it's good. If it's prepared well, like I can eat just about anything, right? I mean,
I can tell.
Yeah. Listen, man, I've lost weight.
I can also tell. Yeah. Love you.
You look great.
You do too, Zach.
Thank you.
So now, you said you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
This is the homecoming.
Yep.
Do you guys have any kids?
Yeah, I have a 4-year-old daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, how old are you now?
I'm 41.
Okay.
So.
41 with a 4-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
Yeah, well, you're the only early bloomer when it comes to children. I mean, I was like 30 when Aiden was born. So, maybe 33.
Yeah. I'm 42, going to be 43, and my youngest is 19 years old.
Yeah.
So,
Crazy.
yeah, very different lives, but my goodness, like the stuff you have to go through at this stage is so different than what you have to deal with it for.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm enjoying it, to be honest. I think she's hilarious. She's picked up a lot of my humor, which I appreciate.
Be careful with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I got a 15-year-old that I said the same thing, and holy crap.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'd rather go back to changing diapers. To be quite honest.
I think I know you guys far too well because I know all the things that are running through your mind right now.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're ready to go there quite yet. Maybe that's like an episode 7 thing.
Yeah, that'll be something later. Now, is your wife from the area or?
No. My wife is actually from California. So it's
You
funny,
drug her
little
out here.
weird, roundabout. I met her. I did not meet her in California, even though I worked and lived in California for almost 10 years. I met her in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but she is from the city that I first worked in California, my first job.
Huh.
So it was just a weird connection. And then we ended up moving back there, because I went and worked for the same organization twice, first as an account rep, but then second as the GM there. And
So
yeah,
you
it was
guys
just a
both
weird
have
coincidence.
gotten to have a homecoming during your career.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So my son is interning right
Yep.
now at the Sky Carp. And
Zach Rydell.
Mr. Zach Rydell, shout out to that beautiful young man. Hi.
The curly locks.
Cut your
The
hair,
flowing
Zach.
curly locks.
Say it again for the camera.
The
Let me,
flow.
let me
luscious
be very
flow.
clear, Zach. Cut your hair. And convince my son to cut all of his off too.
Dude, it's the kids these days, man. I know we had our thing, right? We had our tight rolled pants back in the day, right?
Right.
The center part that we used to do.
Yeah. That was
really
lame.
wild fashion, but we all learned from those. And then you get this age and you got these kids and they're doing this stuff. And you're like, you're going to regret that. And like, just give it a year. You're going to regret that.
But they don't even, even with long hair, man, they don't comb it. They literally get out of bed and I'm like, hey man, you got bedhead.
Yeah.
Like comb your hair, do something.
Yeah.
And they just wear literally pajamas to school these days.
I don't mind. He's
Not
in Catholic
anymore.
school.
That's right. Yeah, they make them wear something a little bit nicer over there.
Yeah.
My goodness, man. I would not have gotten away with that back in the day.
Nope.
What was it? There was a certain brand of jeans that you had to
Some
wear.
Z Cavaricis. You remember those?
No, I think what was
I'm
it?
a little older than you guys, so.
It wasn't Buckle, was it?
No. Buckle
No.
was after
Way
our
later,
time.
yeah.
Was it?
I know what you're talking about. I just can't
Some
remember
pair-
the name
like
of the brand.
Dude, they had the acid stonewashed, and then they had the Z Cavaricis. They were the baggy ones.
I remember.
And then everybody tight rolled them
Yeah.
with some penny loafers.
I
remember
had the
Echo.
best tight roll. I
You
could
remember
probably
the
still tight roll.
Remember Echo?
I remember
the
Echo.
little
brand
bit.
Echo?
A little bit.
That was
yeah.
big.
There you go. But anyways, we all have that stuff that we did. And then I look at these kids and I'm like, you're gonna have a lot of zits with all that hair and that grease hanging over your
They
forehead.
all do.
And that's why they won't cut it.
Yeah.
Because they go into the shower and they see what they've done to themselves.
Yeah. And then they do.
And
they
they're
sit in
like,
the-
nope, go back.
Yeah, they sit in the mirror and they look at their phone and they try to poof it up and make it frizzy and I don't even know.
Well, instant regret for them. Learn from their mistakes, I
I don't
guess.
think so, man. I don't think this generation there's a little bit of they don't care. They don't care what you think.
It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It changes though as they get older. The relationship you have with your children changes. So yours is 4. You got a 15, almost 16-year-old, 19, 20 and 22 for mine. All insanely challenging times, but very different, beautiful times to have with your kids too. Like I get to be more friends with my kids now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
While also still trying to balance the fact that when they're fucking up, I feel like I still have to tell them you're fucking up.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
It's,
Yeah, I'm just
Somebody's
happy I'm
gotta
not at that
tell 'em.
stage yet.
They
you know.
do. Like,
I'm in the fun years right now.
right?
yeah, you
Man.
are. You are.
It's not that it's hard. It's just like, man, they don't want to listen. And it's like we talked about this on the last show. you try to give your kids the cheat code to life.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, hey man, like these are all the things. If you do this stuff, like you're gonna be so far ahead.
Yeah.
And they will throw that shit in your face and just kind of, and they will deny you at every turn
Until somebody else
Good
tells
luck.
them.
Well, yeah, no, and
Right.
you have to convince them to make them think that it's their idea.
Of course.
Inception.
Yeah.
Leo DiCaprio. Inception. One of my favorite movies.
That was a great movie.
This is a form of manipulation, Jim.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You're okay
Parents
with
should
this.
manipulate their children. Like this. Yeah,
I can't disagree, to be honest.
I mean, you have to, because if you don't, they're just whatever they think is cool on YouTube is what they're going to start doing.
Oh my
And
gosh,
that's
these
kids, it's disaster.
lemmings.
What's that?
You've never heard the lemmings? You ever play that game back in the day, lemmings?
No.
It's these little, I can't remember if they were
played a lot
green or
of
blue,
Oregon
these
Trail,
little
But like,
things
Where in
that
the world is
you
Carmen
control the
Sandiego?
first one.
Right.
You control the first lemming, and every other lemming behind it will do what the first one did.
oh,
It's just a whole bunch of followers, and nobody wants to lead.
yeah,
And that I don't like that at all, man. I want you to be unique. I want my kids to be beautiful, feel like they
Be
can
yourself,
express
right?
themselves, and not just follow everybody else.
yeah.
It-
Well, they think they're following, and the biggest thing with teenagers is you got to tell them, like, man, your friends don't care whether you fail at something.
No.
They're gonna be gone. So like getting that instilled into them is just like be your own person, but try to do the best you can do instead of doing whatever your friends are doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
But
it's a tough realization, though. It takes a while, for certain
It does.
kids to, take the bull by the horns and do that.
I don't at 42 years old. I'm not even sure if I've fully figured it out yet.
Mm-mm.
Right? Like
I mess up all the time.
Like I feel like I know who I am, but sometimes there's imposter syndrome kicks in, and you're just,
Sure.
Yeah.
what am I doing?
Yeah.
Now, do you have
Yeah.
a lot of interaction? So, I mean, do you have a lot of interaction with the players, or are you kind of more just?
Yeah, I mean,
if they come see
there's-
you, it's a bad thing.
Well, that can happen,
Yeah.
definitely, for sure. No, I would say, from a player's standpoint, I have more interaction with the coaching staff, probably, than the players. I'll know a few of the players, and they're usually good guys. I mean, plus the Marlins draft really well, so like when we get a new group of guys, they're usually pretty willing to help us out, with community appearances and stuff like that. So, and I was a former player too, so I can still relate to those guys in a lot of ways. But to be honest, I don't have like super close or anything. But our coaching staff, I talk to almost on a daily basis.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. If we keep talking about baseball, we're gonna be here for like 4 hours, man.
Dude, I could talk about baseball all day.
I know. I'm trying to hold back.
Why? This is a great opportunity.
You get sensitive when I talk about baseball.
Well, we have some differences,
Yeah.
but it's all about the experiences that we've chose for our children. Like our upbringing in baseball and how we played as a kid was all the same, but in today's world, we chose different paths for our children. But we've walked both paths. So
What paths are we
get,
talking
we
about,
get on
Jim?
the travel ball stuff a lot,
Mm.
and like there is no, I mean, how many $billion industry is travel baseball, travel softball?
Oh my
right
gosh!
now?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's a
insane.
business.
It keeps getting bigger too.
Yeah,
It's a
you know?
business. I would love
It's all year
I
round.
would love to talk to the coaches that you just mentioned and
Mhm.
find out what their opinion is on it, and then
Sure.
find out from the players.
Yeah.
How many of them look back on those years and think that it actually impacted their ability to be where they are today.
Right.
I would love to have those conversations.
I gotta imagine it's going to be a pretty high percentage of them that would say that's been a huge influence. I mean, especially this day and age, these kids are young, man. Like
Mhm.
they're, we're getting guys that are anywhere from 16 to 21. I mean, if we have a 23-year-old, he's like ancient.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So,
They're
I
still
mean,
fresh in it, right?
Yeah. So these kids, I mean, we're talking like less than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, these kids were in those programs, you know, so, you know, I got to imagine it's been a game changer. It's in a lot of ways though, it's a little bit sad because it's almost like the death of, you know, regular organized, you know, city, county baseball, like, you know, that I grew up with.
Like the Legion system. I mean, it's still there.
Community
but barely.
baseball has suffered from what I consider a poison.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I don't disagree with you on that. Like, there are some organizations that should not exist, but nonetheless, they're there and we got to deal with it. But I think there are plenty of organizations that are trying to do the right things for those kids, but there's not a whole bunch.
Yeah, average kids still need options.
Yeah.
You know, and I get concerned about it from time to time because of just the growth of baseball. You know, that's concerned me at times. Like how are we going to continually grow baseball? You know, and if younger kids are straying away from it more and more, or you know, the better kids are going to play, you know, travel ball, and then everyone else is just like stuck.
They're just left there by themselves, right?
Yeah, it's less competitive. You know, they're less involved in it. How in the long term is baseball going to suffer 10 years, 20 years down the road in terms of popularity?
And I know we've seen it in the last 10 to 15 years quite a bit. We've had Ryan and I talk about this quite a bit, and the erosion of the competitiveness in these community leagues. There's some areas that, and I'll use Muskego, Wisconsin. Their community teams are fantastic, but they really, really push community in everything they do.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often anymore.
Yeah.
I'm trying to continue that spirit, what we have going on in the state line. And we do a relatively good job. We're still a wildly successful community baseball league that does not have to outsource to other leagues to try to play games. We're completely interleague. But that doesn't happen everywhere, and that sucks because every single community deserves a place where their kids can play with their neighbors, with their brothers, with their classmates.
It gets real awkward
without
nowadays.
feeling like you have to pay an arm and a leg to do it.
Yeah,
right.
Because in my opinion, baseball it should be focused on the joy of the game and not about the trophy.
Yeah.
That's where you have the most fun. And I think you can have that fun without paying a shit ton of money.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. But state line is really the exception. It's not the rule.
Yeah,
Right?
it really is, man.
We owe it to a lot of amazing volunteers, our coaches, and our community as a whole. I'm honored to play the role that I do and kind of herding the cats on some of that stuff. But without the coaches, the parents, our sponsors, you know, everybody being willing to come together as a community and make that happen, it doesn't work. It falls apart. And that's I think that's what you're talking about, where there are communities that come together and make that work.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when you get that poison of people who just want the money, it ends up bleeding into these other programs, and they just start crumbling. And I'm fearful of what it's going to do, like you said, in 10 years for the sport of baseball.
Well, I mean, think of it this way. Where I see the most problem is, look at these high schools. That's whenever it really, because everybody comes back and it becomes shambles.
Yeah.
Because these coaches they no longer know any of those kids. And so it's kind of like it's a reset when they get to the high school level. And then, you know, it's pretty crazy. Like high school level baseball and then going forward. I mean, you really separate, and I get that to a certain extent, but yeah, it's created a monster. And there's no looking back. The problem is what's going to happen, like you said, is as they get older, you look at college baseball right now. I mean, I got a kid that wants to play college baseball.
Right.
And in the end, COVID, there's going to be, when he graduates and he's going to be a freshman, if he wants to play college baseball, he's going to be competing with 25 and 26-year-olds at the college level because they got extended and they got all these – and – It really put a hurting on. I feel bad for the kids right now coming out of high school. You know, at least we got a couple more years. I had already figured it out. Like 26, 27 is kind of whenever the reset happens. But from 2020 graduates till 2024, 2025 graduates, dude, it is brutal. These kids, and these are quality kids, man. Like you go and you know, I watch a lot of stuff, and you go to JUCO baseball, and everybody used to downplay JUCO. There's dudes throwing 96 at JUCO baseball, man.
It doesn't matter what level you play in. You just need to have fun. Look, okay. So let me be real for a second. Everybody has a goal for what they want to do with their sport, and that could be that they want to be a professional athlete. They want to play for the Marlins,
Right.
And they want to climb that ladder. Some of them just have a goal of they want to play college baseball. Some of them just want to have a really great summer to take pictures with their buddies. Some of them don't want to sit at home, so they're just going to sign up for it. And honestly, sometimes it's just parents that don't want to have to babysit their kids all the time, so they're going to sign them up for a youth league. But whatever that goal is, like baseball is an outlet for all of it, and it's pure, it's America, and I think that there's got to be opportunities for everybody. My struggle is when you make people think that you have to pay money, you have to pay insane amounts of money, like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 just to get on a team, to then be told now you got to sell liquor wagon tickets and Super Bowl squares to pay for more shit that doesn't add to any more fun. It doesn't add to any more skill. All it adds to is somebody else's ability to pay for their fucking Lexus. And that bothers me because you're being a poison on the sport of baseball for what it should be, which is an opportunity for people to have fun, get an education, and make money doing something that they love.
99% of them won't play professionally.
They won't. And that's what you're saying about JUCO. Like, there's plenty of opportunities for people to play and have an amazing time with it. And you should be proud of every single level that you play in, no matter what level, if it's D3 or D1,
Dude,
JUCO.
If you're playing baseball at the high school level or any college level, you're a dog. Dude, you have
be proud.
There is no more. Not everybody makes the team. It just isn't true anymore.
Right.
And like you have to be prepared for that. And there's a lot of kids that are woefully unprepared. That's what like Laura and I wanted out of travel baseball is a little bit more preparation,
which you can get.
Yeah. No, you can
without having to pay that much money.
True, but you know what? People forget about then the hotels, the travel costs, and you know all those things, and then they have the balls to make you pay $25 for a weekend as the parent to go watch your kid play in a tournament you already paid for,
which sucks, man. And that happens in literally every sport.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
I have a daughter who was cheerleading and dance and did some competitive stuff, and it's
2-minute routine.
So you literally, like, I'm paying all this money to go and watch you dance for 3 minutes. I have more fun watching my daughters dance and have fun in the living room.
Yeah,
like I'm proud of all my kids. Love you. I'm really proud of everything you all do.
Flowing locks, Zach
exactly. All of my kids love you guys.
He's the one he's least proud of.
But like, I've learned, dude. I've been through it all, right? I've learned that a lot of the things that you do that you get personal joy out of that cost a lot of money. Sometimes I don't want to mince my words because I don't regret anything that I've ever done with my kids. Yeah. But in hindsight, not as much of it matters as that connection with your children and the memories that you make.
Yeah. No, and some of the greatest, you know, when my son went into travel ball, I got him into umpiring some stuff to make a little money. But my wife and I, we go over to Leland Park, and it is awesome to just sit there, watch other people play baseball, eat some hot dogs, and Ryan's typically there, and there's typically a hodgepodge of people that you haven't seen in a while, so you can kind of do it. And it's kind of like those Sky Carp games. Like more people should be going out and enjoying this because it is all those times are an amazing experience.
Yeah, it feels
like community living room.
Yeah,
yeah, amen to that for sure. So your daughter, 4 years old, has she started developing a personality? You said she's got your sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, you got to tell it. You got to tell us a story now because I remember when my girls were that young, they started.
Oh, she says a lot of different, you know, every day she says something new, you know, like that I didn't teach her. My wife can get a bit of a potty mouth at times, so she repeats a lot of what my wife says. which is
That's
cute.
hilarious.
It's cute at this age.
We'd probably get along because I tend to use sentence enhancers quite a bit.
Yeah. So it's it's that kind of a thing. But no, she's hilarious. And it's nice because every time I come home, she's in that phase where it's like, yeah, daddy, yeah, like gets all like excited when I come home and stuff, which is good. So
Cherish those memories.
Yeah,
man.
totally. Yeah, only one time, so it's still
It
grow out of
flies
it. So.
by too.
I would have hugged my daughters 4, 5, 6 times a day. I remember my daughters fighting over who got to hold my hand at the time because they didn't want to hold my hand at the same time. Like they were that jealous over who got the attention.
That's awesome.
And those are moments that you cherish, and they become different moments
Right.
in the future. So yeah, save those ones, put them in your pocket.
Yeah, put them in your pocket
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, save those for sure.
Totally.
Oh goodness. So what's happening? What's happening to D1, my man?
Bro, big things. So, there's some professional football coming back to the area pretty soon. Might be some stuff with that. Shameless plug. We do have we're doing some combine work with high schoolers, but we're also going to be doing a professional. So we're going to have kind of couple categories. So we'll have like a professional or more of the real kind of combine dudes out there.
Yeah.
But we're also going to have like our amateur combine, and that's going to be more geared towards high schoolers and stuff like that. But we're in the process of getting a hold of some of these coaches, local high school coaches, and hitting the local colleges to bring them in. And there's going to be some big stuff there. We got football speed camps going next month.
But what's your 40 time?
Well, the last time I tried to drink an Old English 40 ounce, I think in one setting I could do it in about 3 minutes.
Edward 40 hands?
Yeah.
That's friggin' great.
My wife was in a sorority, so
What?
she took me to an Edward 40 hands party back in the day.
Are you at that point in your life where your 40 time is now how fast you can chug a beer?
Yeah, dude. Does this body look like it? This physique look like it runs a lot?
I don't judge.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everybody else does. So
Yeah. I don't even know if I've ever actually had a 40 time like clocked. I was always more of a baseball guy. But
I'm not sure that I'd be willing to try.
in high school,
Yeah,
That would be ugly.
I'm slow anyways.
I was never like lightning fast. So, whatever. My
Yeah.
kid has those genes from me too.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I was a catcher in baseball, so that always messed with my knees and my hamstring.
You weren't
I could
expected to
never-
run fast.
No,
It-
I could never.
Nope. I do miss the times where I got to play though.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I really love like golfing and playing in a softball league or something. You feel young again.
Yeah, at the Rock in Franklin, Wisconsin, they have men's leagues. Oh, they got like an under 25 league. Then they got an over 40 league that you can play. You can bring a team in. There's some legit dudes in that league, man. I saw a 60-year-old on the mound 2 years ago. I was like, holy shit.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. See, part of me would love to do that,
Yeah.
but it's also in the summer when I have no time.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a bummer because, I desperately want to throw the catching gear on at times and
Let's do it. What's holding us back?
nothing. And we I think we talked about this, but Father's Day, doing some sort of a package where we have a round robin tournament at the park for
Adult
am
tournament.
yeah.
All in
That
on
would
that.
be fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of former professional ball players in the area too. You could stack them on some teams. People could go out, and a lot of them own businesses. It'd be a great opportunity.
Say it again for the camera so we can make this official.
All right, Father's Day Fantasy Camp. Let's do it. Round robin tournament. Play some baseball at ABC Supply Stadium.
Let's go.
That would
Hardball,
be
no
awesome.
softball.
That would be awesome, especially Father's Day. Like
Yeah.
that would be an amazing weekend.
I'd give you the best 3 innings on the mound you've ever seen. And then I won't be able to lift my arm for about a month.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it'll be worth it.
Listen, I'll strike out every time. I'll play second.
To
But like,
to feel young again.
yeah, man, just to be out
Yeah.
on the field would be.
I want to see if I
amazing.
still got it. I used to have a really good arm.
Yeah?
Be able to throw guys out pretty easily. So
You know what's going to happen here, Zach, is
I'm going to throw my arm out, of course.
if we're able to make this happen, which I would love to make this happen, let's pour everything into it.
4 teams.
We're gonna talk
teams.
about doing this. We're gonna put our teams together. We're gonna talk about like going to the gym and flexing and taking all these supplements and getting healthy again. And then
What?
And then that won't happen.
Right.
It'll be one day before the tournament. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I ran a Tough Mudder back in 2013, and my wife was like, "Are you going to train for that?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "If these people can do it, no problem." It was up in Oshkosh. I thought I was going to die. On the way back, I was just south of Madison, and like my whole body froze up while I was driving, so I had to stop for an hour because my muscles were seizing. And by the time I got home, I couldn't get out of the chair. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. Baseball will do that.
Being our age will do that. Which actually, I was sitting here a moment ago watching a previous recording of a show here in the studio, and it reminded me of one of the most middle-aged things that's ever happened in the studio. Victor was here, and they were talking, and he just stops everybody. Says, "I'm gonna have to stop you guys right there. I got to take a piss." I died laughing, man. I was like, I've been there a few times. Your body just says stop.
When it's time, it's time. Man.
It's time. That was fun. If we keep drinking like this, we'll probably have to take potty breaks.
Absolutely. Let's get back to that the Father's Day tournament.
Yeah,
So I think it's super important. It'd be a great opportunity to just bring some different faces out to the park.
Yeah,
I mean-
and the reason why I say Father's Day Fantasy Camp is because I've done this before with other teams, and it's cool. We put together a package to where it was a round robin tournament. Even if you don't have a team, you could still show up. We had 2 teams that were like organized, then like had played each other. They play in leagues.
Oh, and then
They know
independent
each
signups.
other.
Yeah.
And then we had a team full of independent signups, and we gave everyone a jersey, like customized jersey, with the thing, and then had tickets for a game that night for which was earlier. But we started at 9 a.m. They were either 7-inning games or an hour long, and it was awesome.
I would love to get my guys together. There's a bunch
You
of
could do a
guys I
little
know that play
skills
softball with.
competition in there too.
Ooh,
Just a quick
A no skills competition.
Yeah, no skills.
I'm telling you right now, we can do a 40 time and make it a
They don't
drinker.
do 40s in baseball.
I don't care.
60.
Actually,
let's
we
make the
could
old
do
men.
60 or 90.
Yeah. Home to first.
Yeah,
don't know,
90
man.
foot. Yeah.
How fast could you chug a beer?
Right. Ooh. Now we're talking beer
Mhm.
Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Chug
you
a
gotta-
beer at first, do the dizzy bat at second. If you can make it to third, do something.
So now, in your playing days, so you played through college.
I did.
And did you do some pro ball as well, or?
No, I actually did not. I was a pretty darn good player. I played D2 NAIA for Robert Morris University in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And I was actually an NAIA All-American my senior year. Did not declare for the draft or anything like that. I was so done with playing.
Yeah. It's a lot of time commitment, right?
Yeah. Well, it was a situation where I was catcher. For one reason or another, I had kind of bad luck with the backups. Like they would get injured. There's a couple years that they didn't their grades were not there, so they
you played most of the time and just wore yourself
double
out?
headers
That's
constantly.
not good on a catcher.
And the thing when you play in college too, a lot of people don't realize as a catcher is when you go to practice, if the pitchers aren't throwing that week, they want multiple bullpens. So they're going to throw 50, 60, 70 pitches sometimes over the course of these practices, and I'm the only catcher catching all these bullpens. It just ran me into the ground. So I was just burnt out on that, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I wanted to get into the business side anyways. So
right on. Which seems like it's worked out for you a little bit.
yeah. I've been very fortunate. I've learned a lot of great things from a lot of smart people in our industry. So I've traveled all over the place. I've been to 46 of the 50 states.
There you go.
Over 19 years. It's been phenomenal. Met a lot of cool people.
What states haven't you been to?
The Dakotas, which I don't know why anyone would go there. So the Dakotas, and then Hawaii and Alaska.
I grew up thinking Ohio is that same way.
Anybody
from
from Dakotas that's watching this,
I guess Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
That's the reason I
sorry,
go there.
Yeah, that was always that was our family motto. Like nothing good ever came out of Ohio because I'm a huge Steeler fan.
Yeah.
And the Cleveland Browns, like that was like the end all. So we hated everything about Ohio. So over the last 30 years, I always tell everybody like nothing good ever came out of the state of Ohio.
That's
It's really stupid, but it's hilarious because I've stuck with it since I was a kid.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'm all in on trying to do this little tournament over there for Father's Day. It would be a great opportunity for me and my boy to throw the ball around again.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of other father-son. And, co-ed, I'd imagine we're fine with. If there's some ladies that want to come out and play, we do not discriminate.
I know Aiden would want to do it. He'd be all over that.
That would be a really good time. So let's chat about that.
Totally.
Yeah. I know a good marketing agency that might be willing to help get the word out.
I know a
maybe you can facilitate an introduction.
We will do. Yeah.
I know a really good fitness training gym that would probably do like all the warm-ups and strength and conditioning prior to.
Okay. Yeah, we'd probably want a title sponsor for it as well. You know,
so I'm sure we could probably figure something out.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
That'd be really cool.
And we're going to hold you to that, and we're going to end this episode on that note. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Brockman, for coming out. We really love what the Sky Carp have going on. As a guy my age, we're always looking for fun ways to get out of the house without having to, go late night bar hopping and run into.
It's only getting better, man. We keep adding new programs every year, adding staff each year. We see 2024 as a real jumping off point.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, and for those people that haven't been out to Sky Carp's ABC Stadium there, I highly recommend it. I've never not had a good time there.
Yeah.
The amenities there are amazing. The people, the staff has always been top notch. So
yeah. Stop talking about going and get your butts.
Fill them
to
seats.
ABC Supply Stadium. We'll see you guys out there. Until then, peace. It's good stuff, gentlemen.
Good stuff.
That's a good episode, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.